everyone, just for here, back to a new Kingdom Hearts video, and today I want to talk about certain keyblades in the Kingdom Hearts franchise that make you wonder, are they worth getting? There are plenty of keyblades that are, outside of the story, that are not involved in the story, but you wonder, are they good to even have? And I want to go through them. And this is going to be going in really any order of the Kingdom Hearts games. So just to let you know. Starting with Drain Drop Distance. And the first Keyblade I want to talk about in this is the Keyblade I'm holding, End of Pain. And the way to obtain the End of Pain Keyblade, the way to obtain the End of Pain Keyblade is, it's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy. You need to, let's see, where would this be at? Yeah, where would this be at, though? Would it be at Record? Yeah, I think it might be at Records. Link Portals. You must complete every special, or no. Right? No. Yeah, every special portal with Riku and Sora. Every portal in the game with both Riku. Well, of course, if you want to get it for both characters, you're going to have to do it for both characters. But, again, you're going to have to get all of the secret portals, or special portals, you know what I'm talking about, beaten. And each world, really, each world contains a certain amount of special portals that you need. I think there are 6 in each world, except the world that never was. And it just depends with the character as well. Sometimes there would be more. Sora will have more than Riku in some worlds. And sometimes they wouldn't even have any. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. But yeah, some of them will have a certain amount in each world, just depending with the character. And I recommend watching a guide. Watching a guide to get this Keyblade, because that's what I did. And I love the design of it, too. I mean, is this Keyblade worth getting? Absolutely not. I don't think this Keyblade is absolutely worth getting if you don't want it. I mean, if you're wanting to platinum the game, then of course you're going to have to get all the Keyblades, of course. But is this Keyblade worth getting? I mean, if you're not trying to go for all the Keyblades, I wouldn't recommend getting this Keyblade. I mean, again, I love the design of it. It has the gazing eye. The gazing eye on it. You know, the Master of Masters eye that we see on the no-name Keyblade that Xehanort uses. But again, besides the design of the Keyblade, I don't think it's really worth trying to get. Another Keyblade in Drain Drop Distance that, I mean, yeah, and that is the Diving Keyblade. I mean, is this Keyblade worth getting? I wouldn't. Again, this is all my opinion. Take this in, this is all my opinion. So, if you think that some of these Keyblades that I will show isn't worth getting, but you think it is, again, I respect y'all's opinion. But this is just my opinion, though. I respect all of y'all's opinion. I respect everybody's opinions. That's what I love to hear about y'all's opinions. But yeah, to me, the Diving Keyblade, which of course you gotta A rank every dive segment in Drain Drop Distance. You know, when you're entering the world for the first time and you have that dive section when you're going to the world, you gotta A rank all of them in order for, of course, both Sora and Riku if you're wanting to get it for both characters. But yeah, this Keyblade really isn't really that worth getting. I mean, again, it's just something, you know, there. It's just something there if you want it. Now, another Keyblade is, yeah, I'm gonna say it, Unbound. Yes, it's more powerful than the Ultima weapon. This Keyblade is more powerful than the Ultima weapon in Drain Drop Distance. but Unbound can be kind of challenging. It depends the difficulty, but again, you have to complete every secret portal in the game. And, of course, the secret portals are pretty much the boss fights from the story. You're just refacing the boss fights from the story and making them harder. They're pretty much more challenging. So yeah, that means fighting the Spelican again. Oh, and also, Riku actually does not have a special portal, or secret portal, in The World That Never Was, and in, Sorcery of Symphony. Sora doesn't in The World That Never Was, but in the Sorcerer of Symphony. So, yeah, you actually don't have to do two of them that aren't there for Riku, and one of them for Sora. But again, if you want to get this Keyblade, then that's fine, but I really don't think that it's worth the effort trying to get. I mean, if you're a very high level, let's say level 99, which of course I was, right? I was level 99 for fighting days. Then obviously you shouldn't have too much of a hard time, of course, because they are stronger. They are stronger versions of the main story bosses. Of course, you are fighting the same bosses like Rensselaer and, you know, some of the Dream Eater fights as well, but they're just stronger versions. Another Keyblade in Drain Drop Distance, which I had to switch to Riku, because I only got this Keyblade with Riku, but that is the Sweet Dreams Keyblade. This one is definitely a nightmare, and at least in my opinion, because you know what you have to do? You have to complete Flick Rush. You have to do the Flick Rush minigames in Traverse Town, and get a certain amount of points. You know, the main points that you get. It is an absolute nightmare for me, because I am not good at Flick Rush. I'm not good at Flick Rush. And just, that's why I only got it for Riku, because, yeah, this Keyblade is just a nightmare. I love the design, but it is definitely 100% not worth getting. If you're not trying to get all the Keyblades, don't waste your time trying to do all the Flick Rush, because it is an absolute pain in the backside. So, it'll save you some suffering, too. And I guess you... Now, I'm not gonna say, but the Ultima Weapon... Now, I am gonna throw the Ultima Weapon in Drain Drop Distance as well. I mean, technically, the Ultima Weapon is easy, or easy-ish, in Drain Drop Distance. All you have to do... I mean, of course you gotta make sure you're a good level, though. You're a good level. Make sure that you are a good level when when doing the fight. You gotta make sure you're a pretty good level. But what you have to do is pretty much Julius. Yeah, you have to fight Julius, the game's secret boss. That's all you have to do, is fight the secret boss. Or the super boss. The super boss in Drain Drop Distance. And you can actually cheese this fight. You can actually cheese it with lots of balloons. Balloons are broken in this game. This boss is... You can just cheese this fight very easily with both Sora and Riku. But yeah, again, no synthesis. This is one of the Kingdom Hearts games that has no synthesis required to get the Ultima Weapon. I mean, when it comes to actually getting it, it's kind of one of my favorites, because you don't have to do any synthesis grinding. But all you have to do is just go... Of course, Julius won't appear until you have a cleared save file. But if you haven't beaten Julius, of course, to get the Ultima Weapon, you need to go to the Fountain Plaza area. And then a cutscene will play, and you would have to fight Julius. I mean, again, like I said, Balloon is powerful. Balloon is broken in this game. Literally. Of course, Riku kind of has more of an advantage, though, I can say. And again, this goes for both Riku and Sora. Fight Julius. Just defeat Julius, and you'll have the ultimate weapon. I mean, he's not really that bad of a fight. I don't really find him that terrible of a fight. Yeah, I definitely don't find him that terrible of a super boss. Again, especially since you can cheese this fight with Balloon. Literally, you can cheese this fight with Balloon. Like, it is a joke. Like, this fight is an absolute joke with Balloon. And of course, make sure you're a good level as well. I don't know exactly what level I would recommend you be on. I'm not too sure what level you should be recommended to be on when doing this fight. Maybe 70 or 80? Again, I just can't say exactly because I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, and be careful because he can make it so you can't use some of your commands when you're in the fight. He can disable some of the commands you can use in the fight. So be careful with that. But again, like I said, he's not really that bad. But yeah, just do it with Sora and Riku, and you'll have the ultimate weapon. I mean, is it worth getting? It depends, though. Again, Julius isn't really that hard when you're a good level and you have lots of balloon. Some of the balloon magic. Again, it only depends. And those are the keyblades for Dream Drop Distance that I would say that aren't really worth getting. I mean, again, the ultimate weapon, it just depends, though. It just depends how the fight is for you. So let's go to the next Kingdom Hearts game for this video. And now we go to Birth by Sleep. Next we go to Birth by Sleep, and this is for any characters. Because again, you can get the same keyblade for all three characters that I'm going to be sewing. You can get it for Van, Aqua, and Terra. But the first keyblade is... I mean, I really love this keyblade, and it is the strongest weapon in the game. It is stronger than the ultimate weapon, the Royal Radiant. And what do you need to do to get the Royal Radiant keyblade? I mean, again, it is the best keyblade in the game, but is it really worth trying to get? I mean, again, not if you're you don't have to, it's not really recommended if you're not trying to 100% the game, though. But what you have to do, and again, like I mentioned, this is for all three characters. The keyblades that I will be sewing, you can get for all three. But what you have to do is pretty much get Arena level 30. The max level for the area mode, Arena mode, and the Mirage Arena. And you know how you do that? You got to, no joke. And I did this for all three characters as well. I've done this for all three characters. I just wanted to sew it on Van's save file. But what you have to do is game records, Arena. You have to complete all of the medals, get all of the medals, complete all of the battle arenas, as I'll just call it. You have to complete all of the Rumble Racing, and you gotta complete 7 wins in the command boards. And again, that's for all three characters. Is it worth trying to get, especially for you having to do it 3 times, right? You have to do this 3 times if you want all the keyblades for all 3 characters. You have to do it 3 times. All of that for all 3 characters. Is it worth trying to do? Absolutely not. I would definitely say absolutely no, it is not worth trying to get if you're not even trying to get all the keyblades. Another keyblade, which you can also get in the Mirage Arena, is, of course, the Ultima weapon. Yes. I don't think it's really worth trying to get as well. I mean, for the Ultima weapon, all you have to do is go to the battle arena and go to this. Villains something. Not sure how you pronounce that. But you have to go to this arena right here at arena level 25. You have to get 25 levels on the arena level to get to where you have, and then get to this arena, and then you have to beat it, and you get the Ultima weapon. Again, another game where you don't have to do no synthesizing. But is it worth trying to get? Absolutely not. Especially if you're trying to do it for all 3 characters. If you're not worried about the Platinum Trophy for getting it for all 3 characters. Absolutely no. Another Keyblade, which, here, I'll actually go to the area for it. The next Keyblade is certainly not worth it. Yeah, it's certainly not worth trying to get, and I might also... And of course, you can cheese this boss as well. You can absolutely cheese this boss with Thunder Surges. And you probably know what fight I am talking about, and that is the man himself, the mysterious figure, aka Young Xehanort. Yes, the mysterious figure, aka Young Xehanort. And the Keyblade that you get for here is the no-name Keyblade. Technically, Young Xehanort's Keyblade that we see throughout the series. Yeah. You actually get... And again, this is absolutely horrible for Terra. Trying to get this Keyblade for Terra, because he's just felt so awkwardly. Especially, at least when it comes to Van and Aqua. They have a good advantage. Right? They have a good advantage. But poor Terra. I'm not even going to try to win, obviously, because I already got the Keyblade. But again, you have to bait this mess. You gotta bait this mess of a fight. Again, I feel that some of these bosses and and Birth by Sleep was not play-tested. Yeah, I feel like some of these boss fights were not even play-tested when they were making it. But again, for baiting the mysterious figure, you get... Where is it? It's down here, ain't it? Yep. The no-name Keyblade. Is it worth getting? Absolutely not. Again, at least when it comes to Van and Aqua, they do have a more good, good advantage, because Van has his dodge rolling, and Aqua has her cartwheel, but poor Terra, he doesn't have anything like that. So yeah, I definitely do not recommend getting this Keyblade if you don't want it. I mean, Young Xehanort's Keyblade is one of the coolest designed ones, but still though. Another Keyblade that I don't really recommend getting is Void Gear. And you get this Keyblade for baiting another secret boss. You have to defeat the Veneda's Remnant. Yeah, in the Badlands of the Keyblade Graveyard. And again, this boss is definitely not worth it. And I mean, you can actually cheat this boss as well. This boss is also where you can cheat as well. But, again, poor Terra. Poor Terra. He doesn't have anything good to actually avoid the attacks, though. Like some of his attacks. He doesn't have really any good moves where he can avoid the attacks, though. I just feel bad for him. Aqua and Van at least have dodge rolling and cartwheeling, where they can have a good advantage, but this fight is horrible. And of course, you can't use Cure. You can't use Cure in this fight. Or the boss will heal. Yeah, a boss that can heal itself. Of course, you're gonna have to use potions to heal. The only way to heal without the boss healing. But again, this boss... Again, I don't even think it was play-tested either. I don't even think... Again, most of these fights, I don't think were play-tested. But, again, I don't recommend this Keyblade, getting this Keyblade. I definitely don't recommend it. It's not worth your effort trying to do. Another Keyblade, which, I mean, it's not super horrible, but the Sweet Stack. The Sweet Stack Keyblade, which you get for collecting ice cream ingredients. Yes, there is ice cream ingredients in all the worlds, except, obviously, the Mirage Arena and the, Keyblade Graveyard, and I'm pretty sure as well with Yensid's Tower. And of course, the Land of Departure. There's none there either. But every other world, there's ice cream ingredients. And once you collect every kind of ice cream ingredient, you have to go to Disney Town and go to here. And pretty much create all the types of ice cream. I mean, the ice creams will actually be different comparing to what character you're playing as. But again, you gotta get all ingredients that are in the world. And again, you may need to use guides as well. But is this Keyblade worth... I mean, it looks super delicious. But I don't really think it's actually worth getting. But, fun fact though, if you actually... You see the scoops of ice cream? The scoops of ice cream actually change whatever character you're playing as. The scoops of ice cream actually change depending, like, again, we have 4 with Van, and it actually changes comparing to, if you're playing as Van and Terra, it actually changes the amount of scoops it has on the Keyblade, which I like that. It's another, I mean, a nice detail, and I'm pretty sure I have this Keyblade in, yeah, I think I just saw it. Another one is, which, it's not horrible, but the Victory Line Keyblade. And you also have to go to Disney Town in order to do this. And I don't know if I mean, I've probably said this a million times already, but all these Keyblades that I'm showing can be for all 3 characters. But what you have to do is pretty much go to Disney Town and the Speedway, the Raceway, and do all of the tracks. Win all of the tracks in the Disney Town Speedway, Rumble Racing. And some of the tracks won't unlock until you, of course, complete the said race as well. And, of course, you're going to have to do these in order to unlock them in the Mirage Arena. But those are the Keyblades and Birth by Sleep that I wouldn't really recommend getting. I mean, again, the Sweet Stack Keyblade and the Victory Line Keyblade aren't horrible, but I still wouldn't really recommend it if you're not trying to get all the Keyblades. You know? Now, just to let you know, before we go to the next game, I just want to let you know, with Chain of Memories, there's only really one Keyblade that, well, I guess you could say if you want to get the Days Keyblades as well, which first you're going to have to watch the movie as well, and do some other things too, in order to be able to get all of the cards. But they're not Keyblades exactly. Well, yeah, the Keyblade, the Days Keyblades as some attack cards. I was thinking of the organization members for some reason, but yeah, to get the Days cards, I don't think they're really worth trying to get as well. But also we have the Ultima weapon in this game as well, which probably is another one of the easier ones. All you have to do is just beat the story with Sora and Riku, and you get, and then of course you have to use one of the prize, or you know, those rare prize room cards, if I am recalling, or maybe one of those treasure room cards, either one of them, and go to the Castle Oblivion level, and yeah, you get the Ultima weapon after having both characters' save files cleared. The next keyblades that I wouldn't really recommend getting if you don't want to, or if they're worth it, is in Kingdom Hearts 2, which of course is known to be one of the greatest games in the franchise and in gaming as well, which is also my second favorite Kingdom Hearts game. It is in my top 3 of my favorite ones. But yeah, the first keyblade is... I'm gonna have to switch out some things here to actually be able to use it. But the first one is Winner's Proof. And how do you get Winner's Proof? You have to play a game. And that means you have to do all of the organization mushrooms. Yeah, you have to do all of the black mushrooms that are in the worlds and get a certain high score. You gotta get a high score on all of them. Yes, even the infamous Mysterious Tower one as well. And then you gotta go to the area in Radiant Garden where you fought the 1000 Heartless. And if you have gotten all of them, beaten all of them, you will get the Winner's Proof Keyblade and an upgrade of your crown as well. But yeah, this Keyblade is definitely not worth getting. Another Keyblade, which I wouldn't think it's worth getting, is, I mean, of course, like I said, if you're not bothered on getting all of them, is the Finra Keyblade. Which, do you know how you get this Keyblade? You have to defeat Sephiroth. I mean, Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely not hard. Especially if you're in a high level. So I guess this could also be like in Dream Drop Distance with the Ultima weapon. It just depends, though. This is another Keyblade where it just depends if you think it's worth getting. Because again, you have to fight Sephiroth, and Sephiroth isn't really that horrible of a fight. Especially with Kingdom Hearts 2's case. So, I wouldn't say it's that bad of a Keyblade to get. It just depends how you see it. I would let y'all decide if y'all think it is. Another Keyblade is... There's so many storyline Keyblades. Is, of course, we have to put it on here as well. And that is the Ultima weapon. Which, of course, you are going to have to do some synthesizing. Yup, you're going to have to do some synthesizing in order to get this Keyblade. And I know a lot of people aren't really fans of the synthesizing. I mean, I do like the synthesizing, though. You know, having to go and get materials. But I do like it, like in Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance, where you have to beat, like, do certain, like, non-synthesis grinding, though. But again, you have to get to total of 60, get all of the different materials, synthesis materials, and, of course, you gotta get all of the Orichalcum Pluses as well, to get the Ultima weapon. But really, besides that, I don't think there's really that much more Keyblades in Kingdom Hearts 2 case that I don't think was worth trying to get. Besides the Winner's Proof, at least. The Winner's Proof, I feel, that is definitely the one, especially, that I don't think it's worth getting. I mean, again, it just depends when it comes to the Ultima weapon. If you don't like synthesizing, then of course, it wouldn't be for you, of course. Alright, now we go to Kingdom Hearts 1. Yep, the first Kingdom Hearts game we go to. Of the keyblades that are they worth getting? Like, the effort trying to get. And the first one is, of course, the Ultima weapon. Which, again, you're gonna have to do some synthesizing. Yeah, you're gonna have to go and hunt for materials. And it just depends how much of a fan you are of getting synthesis materials. Right, it just depends how good you are at wanting to get synthesis materials. And, yeah, I know a lot of people wouldn't really be much of a fan of doing the synthesis materials, but of course, hey, this is a Keyblade that you don't have to get if you don't want to. Again, this is just totally up to you. I mean, of course, if you're, once again, trying to get the Platinum Trophy, then, of course, you're going to have to get all the Keyblades, including the Ultima weapon. But, if you're not a fan of synthesizing, this Keyblade, yes, even though it's the best Keyblade in the game, I think it would be fine if you didn't get it, though. The next Keyblade is One Winged Angel. I mean, I love this Keyblade. I love the look of this Keyblade, and when you swing it, the effects too. And how do you get this Keyblade, you may ask? Well, good question. You're gonna have to defeat Sephiroth in the Colosseum in the Platinum match. Yeah, you're gonna have to go to the Colosseum in the Platinum match and fight Sephiroth. And he's a bit tougher in Kingdom Hearts 1 compared to Kingdom Hearts 2. But once you defeat him, you will get the One Winged Angel Keyblade. And another Keyblade that also is the Diamond Dust Keyblade, which you have to defeat the Ice Titan in the Gold match, which the Ice Titan isn't all that bad, but also I love this Keyblade. And these Keyblades, once again, it just depends if you think as well. Because again, this is y'all's opinion too. I want y'all's opinions if y'all think some of these Keyblades are worth getting and some that aren't worth getting, if y'all think so. And this one right here also is another example. But again, the Ice Titan isn't all that bad of a fight. I mean, it's not like fighting Phantom or Gerzita, however you say it, or Xemnas, aka the Unknown. But still, it just depends though. Now we go to Kingdom Hearts 3. And the Keyblades that are they worth getting? And the first one is, okay, no, not this one, is of course, obviously, surprise, surprise, the Ultima weapon, which, of course, you have to do some synthesizing. Yeah, you are going to have to do some synthesizing to get the Ultima weapon on Kingdom Hearts 3 as well. And, again, it just depends if you are a fan or not for getting the Ultima weapon. The next Keyblade is the Oathkeeper. Now, Oathkeeper, of course, this is really, it just depends, though, to you. But that is, what you have to do is, of course, get all of the lucky emblems. Yes. You have to get every lucky emblem in all of the worlds that you can get the lucky emblems in. You have to get all of the lucky emblems. And then beat the game. Beat the game and you'll get a certificate, a proof. And you then load that save file after defeating Xehanort. And load up the save file and with your proof, and you take it to the Moogle, and you get the Oathkeeper Keyblade. definitely a keyblade that I wouldn't say that's really worth getting, of course. Now another keyblade is the classic tone. Yes. Now with the classic tone, it also just depends how you see it. Because with the classic tone, you once again have to go to the gummy phone and you have to set a high score. You don't have to bait a high score, you just gotta set a high score. You gotta set a high score on all of the classic Kingdom minigames. You just gotta set your own high score on, you pretty much just play them, set a high score on all of them, and you get the classic tone keyblade. I mean, I love the design of it, but again, it's another keyblade that it just depends, like, if you're really wanting to have it or not. It just depends, though. The next keyblade is the Grand Theft keyblade. And how do you get the Grand Theft keyblade? You must pretty much complete all of the bistro, all of the cooking, get an excellent rating on the bistro, which I will show you what I'm talking about. And this means you're gonna have to find every single ingredient, food ingredient as well. Yeah, you're gonna have to find every single ingredient in the game and make sure you have certain amounts of it too. But once again, you have to go to the bistro and have that chef hat. You see that mark that's next to it? That means you have to get it on all of these. Every single one you gotta do. And get a 5-star rating on the bistro. You gotta get a 5-star rating on the bistro in order to get the Grand Theft keyblade. Is it worth getting? Not if you're not good at the cooking. With some of them, especially the eggs, can be an absolute pain, though. So yeah, this keyblade definitely not worth the hustle trying to get. The last keyblade for Kingdom Hearts 3 that is it worth getting, and that is the Oblivion keyblade. And the only way to obtain the Oblivion keyblade is to beat the game on critical mode. Yes, you must beat the game on critical mode to get the Oblivion keyblade. And once you beat the game on critical mode, and you actually get a proof, another proof. And also, you pretty much take it to the Moogle as well. After you defeat Xehanort, beat the game on critical mode, you get a proof, and once you take it to the Moogle, you get the Oblivion keyblade. Now, is this worth getting? I mean, it's a really cool keyblade, but again, it requires you to beat the game on critical mode, and it just depends how you are at critical mode, the hardest difficulty. So, again, that just depends on it. And then a keyblade that I didn't actually mention in any of the games, at least the first 3 games, and that is the 100 Acre Woods keyblades. Well, at least Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3, I didn't actually mention this, but that is the 100 Acre Woods keyblade. Now, I think this is a fun keyblade to actually get, because I love the 100 Acre Woods. So I think it's definitely a keyblade I love getting and definitely recommend getting. So I didn't really include that one. But yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think. And those are the keyblades that I find that aren't really worth getting, of course, if you're not really trying to collect everything. But yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think. Here's our next one.